Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for FENIX360, and I am blessed to be joined today by the reggae artist Koulie. Hey, Koulie, how are you doing, brother?
Bless my brother. I must say greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I Jah, Rastafari, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, earth rightful ruler. We can never forget that, and we can never forget the Empress Menen, the divine masculine, divine feminine, the balance of the universe. I want to say it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm doing great.
Oh, man, Koulie, give thanks, man. And thank you for all that inclusion and noble way in which you appreciated those founders. And let me tell you, I'm looking forward to sharing your music, man. And so let's do that first and foremost. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and learn a little bit about your journey in becoming an artist. So if
Ah,
it's cool with you, how about we turn into your track Rockers?
yes, yes, I rockers, keep them rocking and rolling.
Give
Bless.
thanks, respect. All right, everybody, let's tune in now to the reggae artist Koulie with Rockers.
Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I Jah, Rastafari, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, earth rightful ruler. It's your brother from another mother, Koulie, and I just ripped the mic with
Big homie
Big
Doe.
Homie Doe. My bad.
Yeah.
All right, hey,
Sizzler Kalanji.
dreadlocks, dreadlocks flying through the
Big
air,
Singer
and
Koulie.
all I've got is love.
Rastafari.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you really love me? Yeah. Do you
Rastafari.
really love me?
Gracious.
Yeah.
Gracious love. Big up our music lovers.
I'm a reggae rocker. Do you love me?
Do you love me?
6 feet tall, straight from over the on. Do you love me?
Do you love me?
Play the music that I love.
Right now.
Do you love me?
Do you love me?
Vibrations sent from up above. And do you love me? Yeah. He's a rocker, she's a rocker, rocking to my melody. I'm a rocking, you're a rocking to my reggae melody. He's a rocker, she's a rocker, rocking to my melody. I'm a rocking, you're a rocking to my reggae melody. Season love.
Roots rocking, there ain't nothing lacking. Foundation groove, there ain't no stopping. East, west, north, and sound, that's what's happening. Article vibration, that's what's popping. Hey, man and woman, they in a rub and dub style. Original thing, this hardcore to the style. The music is love, the vibration so high, girl. Tell me that you love me, on my face you put a smile.
Give thanks, Koulie, man. It's great to share your music, brother. And listen, thanks so much. And let me ask you this question now. Where do you originally hail, and how did you first get involved with music?
Well, so I originally hail right now from Georgia, right? So how I get involved with music is it's a long story, but I can sum it up. So pretty much, I come from a musical background, you know. My
Yeah.
granddad always played the guitar music. He played the guitar. He drink his beer on a Saturday, you know what I'm saying, on a Saturday or a Sunday on the weekend, because he worked hard during the week. But on the weekend, it's time for him to sit, chill, drink his beer, play his guitar, and play music. And so he
Nice,
played
man.
tons of reggae music, not only just reggae music, alternative music, folk music, jazz music, different genres of music. Now, my mom also ended up later in her years, she ended up signing with. This is something people know because it's in my bio. But my
Wow.
mother ended up linking with Barris Hammond at some point in her singing career, and she was actually signed to Harmony House, which is Barris Hammond's label. Um,
Mhm.
and so, she went on tour for years and, did a lot of different things with a lot of different artists with plenty to name. However, so it didn't work out all the way how I guess fully how she would like to, but it still worked because it inspired her son to do music. And so now, yes, I'm actually here just, holding up the generation or holding up the legacy.
Oh, Cooley, that's beautiful, man. And you're really blessed that, your family helped inspire you, as well as, your mom. Think about the influence with Barris Hammond. That was translated into her influence upon you. So I
Mm,
can see how some of those themes are integrated in terms of those individuals that help, mold the kinds of sounds and frequencies that you're delivering out there, man.
yes,
So
I.
now listen, I got to tell you also, I had a dad that played the guitar and played folk music and old Irish drinking songs and things, and it was always a joy for me as a kid to watch him play, and so that inspired me also to get a guitar and learn those first few chords and play a bunch of
Yeah,
classic rock songs, man. And ever since, I do the same thing. I love it. That's how I chill as well. You know what I mean? Those off hours when you're by yourself and just wanting to groove and sing, and so we have that in common. We're fortunate in that way. So
yeah.
let me tell you something. Also, with all genres of kinds of music that help inspire them, and also yourself, and me too. Can you tell me some of the other artists that maybe helped influence you, or kinds of music you like to listen to when you're growing up?
Well, so like I said, Granddad just playing the music when we listening and Granddad's playing his music out loud, we're listening to Simon and Garfunkel. You know
Mm,
what I mean?
me too.
Um, right? Yeah, yeah. We're listening to Don McLean. You know, we're listening to plenty of reggae music, whether it's Bob Marley and the Wailers, or whether it's separate, just Peter Tosh, because they end up splitting up. So it is either Peter Tosh albums, Bunny Wailer's album, Blackheart Man. You know what I mean? So plenty of reggae culture. Jacob Miller and the Inner Circle, Joseph Hill. The list goes on and on. The reggae forefathers is so vast. You know what
No,
I mean when it comes to reggae music. But yeah, and then my granddad would play Bob Dylan,
yeah,
and now we're hearing Celine Dion maybe later in the night, or So it's just
sure.
it's just a mixture, a mixed genre type of thing. It wasn't just one specific music. You know what I'm saying?
I do, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And you mentioned a lot of my own heroes there, some folk heroes there, and you know what I mean? And certainly in the reggae realm with the Marleys and Legalize It with Pete. And like I gotta tell you what, man, these were all influencers for me too. That first Positive Vibrations album I got when I was in high school or whatever with Bob, ever since, you know what I mean? He's been one of my greatest heroes. And
yeah.
so there's been so many other artists I discovered once I found the genre. And I've
Mhm.
blessing of connecting with many reggae artists as well on this platform. So I give thanks for that. Now,
Mhm.
let me ask this question. You know what I mean? We listen to rockers and I love it, man. And so let me ask this question. What are you working on now? What's the latest and greatest?
Well, right now I'm working on two more singles. They're actually complete. We're just doing a few more things as far as before we release it. Just getting some tedious things done. We have a single coming out with Bobby York. Bobby York is a top notch, pretty much one of the top guys when it comes to producing in Jamaica right now in the dancehall and reggae space.
Yep.
Um, yeah, one of his latest songs was with Morgan Heritage. He released some things with Morgan Heritage, Solid Woman, and plenty of tracks. I'm working on that with him. Well, I'm actually done, but we're working on releasing that one. And also, I have a next single that's coming out with Paul Castick. Paul Castick is a drummer based out of Jamaica. He played drums for the likes of Big Mountain. He's actually in the group Big Mountain. Uh,
Yes. In fact,
yeah.
I know Paul and I've interviewed Paul. And I got to tell you
Oh
what, listen,
yeah.
Castic's
That's my
fantastic.
brethren. Yo,
Well,
that's
listen,
my brethren.
listen,
Yo,
listen. What I love about Castic is he's basically integrating some of the hard drive and heavy metal and rock and roll
with
into the
reggae.
reggae vibe as well.
Yes,
Both
yes.
of us are big Van Halen fans, and so yeah, Castic
Yes,
is
yeah,
pulling
that's
it together,
exactly.
bro.
Yes, yes, my brother. Yes, oh yeah. So yes, you
Yeah,
know that podcast is a big. That's why I love his production because so we have a single coming out called Nati. Yeah,
nice.
for the Nati locks. You know what I'm saying? Nati dreadlocks. It's a Rasta thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And him said like when we work together, Paul Casting, his mind is so sharp and just so he's a visionary. He always wants to push the envelope. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
when I say, "Oh no, man, it's too much of it," he like, "Nah, man, trust me, brother. You have to leave this in it, and the music develop a different way when it comes to Paul. I get really excited working with him and hearing his production because I know that it's gonna be reggae. That's gonna be the foundation. But then based upon that foundation, now there's different layers just built on top where that rock and roll come in, and it's just
that's
heavy,
it, man.
heavy,
And Kasich has a way of pulling it together in a way that's so natural, and he's
natural.
and it has the roots foundation, but ultimately you might see a guitar lead in there, and you go,
Yeah,
wow, it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
powerful, bro. Yeah,
Yes, I, yes,
yeah.
I.
I
Yes, he
and
brought.
Big Mountain too, you mentioned, and they're a phenomenal band. You know what I mean? And they're a rising star in and among this genre as well.
Yeah,
So I love those guys. And
yeah.
so at any
That's,
rate, man, I appreciate that we have some commonality with friends of ours.
yes. So that's what I'm to sum that up. Not to cut you, my brethren, but
Yeah,
that's what I'm working on as of now. Coolly. Yeah, that's what I'm working on as far as
that's
those.
perfect. Now listen, Koulie, which I love, you know what I mean, artist name. Can you tell me how did you get it? Where'd you come up with Koulie as far as, how that first began?
Well, so pretty much, I started off doing hip hop music. You
Uh-huh.
know, I was going by Young Thor then, right? Young Thor, the Lightning Striker, because I
Cool.
love comics, and my uncle is like a real fanatic when it comes to comics. So he was always telling me about the different characters and stuff like that. So I had an affinity,
Cool.
for Thor. So I took upon that name, and as time was going on, and my music started to progress, and I said, you know what? I want something that more connect with I personally, my own identity,
Yeah.
And so one of the things that really resonated with me that I can remember when I reflect, I say, man, they used to always call me a coolie. My grandparents' friends would come over and they say, when they see me, they say, boy, the boy look like a coolie, him look like a coolie. And coolie is just a term for, it's a term they use in Jamaica for brethren and sistren that look more like Native American. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Just more finer hair and just just these little things, the features of Native American, higher cheekbone, whatever. So like the
Yep.
phenotype. Yeah. So so that I wanted something more natural. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that name and I'm gonna embrace that one. And so
Yeah, man, I love it, buddy. And it's cool, man. Coolie.
yeah,
So,
cool.
yeah, I really dig it. So, at any rate, now listen, I appreciate it. And you got your name and you went out there and basically established yourself as an artist. You're hailing here domestically in the US.
Mhm.
But ultimately, we love it if your music would take fire all over the world. Is now I'm just and speaking of all over the world, a global perspective, are there any audiences worldwide that you would like to see a greater influence of your music spreading? I mean, is there any particular location or place where you might want to perform or have performed that has made an impact on you?
You know what? Honestly, I'm really when it comes to the music and when it comes to my journey, I find it hard to be so hard on myself, Like, I mean, whatever this world has for me, on a positive note, I'm willing to accept that. When it comes to this music journey, I want to see so many people. I mean, when it comes to Rastafari, we don't discriminate against any nationality, color, creed, gender, race. I want to see all people from all walks of life, in all nations, and so I can't necessarily say, well, Japan or Africa. I want to go to both of these places. I want to travel and perform for all of these beautiful people
Yes,
and bring this Rasta message. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a real message and more unity to the space.
yeah, man. It's universal, right? And ultimately, this inclusive feeling that you want ultimately to share it with any and everyone, whoever it might touch their heart, and
Right.
so that's what we hope for. And
Mhm.
and I appreciate in all these places where typically reggae music has established a foundational roots among audiences there. You mentioned Japan, for example, in Africa. There's big
Right.
followings there in
And
Europe.
even and I
Yep.
do want to say, not to cut you, brethren, no disrespect. Even places that don't have an established, reggae background or reggae, I want to go to those places and spearhead it. Like it's time to introduce the people to reggae Rastafari and to let them know exactly why, why we represent this thing and why we do this thing. I notice here more in America a lot. There's like a disconnect, there's a disconnect with the younger hip hop generation and what Rasta is and what reggae is. So we have to get them too. You know what I mean? We invite them too. You see?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
People that love music and love varieties of music, you know what I mean? It's really inspiring when they hear something that just connects, just hits their soul, man. That's what we want to do is basically share and show, in essence, what you're bringing to bear. And that's an important thing with regard to how now we can reach global audiences through the digital world. So tell me, how can people find you in the digital spectrum?
Well, okay, so when it comes to the music, we have to go Spotify, all of the DSPs, all the Apple Music, iTunes or whatnot, et cetera, et cetera. So you can, my name is Koulie. So if you type in Koulie on any of these platforms, you will see my profile come up. We have plenty of tracks for people to listen to. If you want to connect with me in any space when it comes to social media, it's the same thing. Koulie, Koulie. You can link with me anywhere on there. And now, I always say this to people. I say, man, Google's your friend, you know, because if you go to Google and you type in, if you're having trouble getting to a specific thing, you go to Google and you type in Koulie. You're gonna see all of these different things come up, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you know, and so
Absolutely, man.
any of those social media platforms.
Well,
Yeah.
we're looking for you being there and rising in those platforms, and we're definitely going to ask people to tune into them. But I want to go back to real quickly to the track that we shared, Rockers, which was a collaboration with Sizzla. So, can you tell me a little bit about that collaboration and some of the other work you've done with Sizzla?
But so I must say, first and foremost, I'm always big on honoring the forefathers of this reggae thing because they're the groundation of this thing. You see what I'm saying? I look at reggae like a house being built, and you know, each artist is a part of the house. You know what I'm saying? The foundation and everything that it takes to build the house. And so when it comes to Rockers, it's actually a remake of Jacob Miller and the Inner Circle song, We Are Rockers. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's me, you know, paying homage to the legend. The what I always say, Jacob Miller, the great, never late,
Mhm.
Jacob Miller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a big up to him and the Inner Circle. And the track has also been embraced by the Inner Circle because the song was actually played on Irie FM in Jamaica on,
No.
on a platform in Jamaica, and there's a video of the selector playing it. And when he played it, he recorded himself, and so I ended up posting it, and I couldn't believe it. But I go on Instagram one day and I see that the Bad Boys of Reggae themselves put it on their page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The reason I say Bad Boys is because a lot of people are familiar with Bad Boys, the series, the movie series, with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys, what you
Sure.
gonna do? Yeah, so everyone know that song, and so they're the creators of that song. And so with this particular song, I end up linking with Bobby York. I was doing some recording and I just laid the foundation of it and I sent it to him and Bobby said, "Yo, yeah, this is the one. We moving with this one. I want to move forward with this one." So I said, okay, cool. He said, who you want to get on it? I said, well, I don't know. He said, well, maybe Sizzla Kalungi. So he suggests Sizzla Kalungi. So I say, is that possible? You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't,
Yeah,
I don't
right. I
know
hear
if it's
that.
possible because I mean, we're talking about a real major icon. So I said, is that possible? He said, why not? I said, okay, cool. And so I end up traveling to Jamaica. Um, I get a chance to go to Augusttown and go to the Judgment Yard, which is a compound that Sizzla Kalungi owns.
I see.
And he has plenty of land. It's a lot of land. It's like a school there. It's a place that it's like buildings and different things that he does for youth that he holds on that land. And so yeah, so I end up going there. You have to travel a little bit, like you know, to kind of get to Sizzla Kalungi, to get to the boss himself. You have
Sure.
to down some rocks and down some gullies and a few turns here and there, and then you end up right there in front of Sizzla Kalungi. And so yeah, he says that Kalungi ended up coming out and greeting I. He liked the energy. We spoke very briefly, and we took some pictures and everything, and then we moved forward. We didn't record the record that day, but he ended up recording it like the next week, and so
Got it.
he put his part on it. But I want to give a big up to Bobby York because if it wasn't for Bobby York, that connection wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? And also a big up to Mama Jackie as well, my mother, because her musical background gave me the connection with Bobby York.
The
Yeah,
credibility to ultimately
the
be
credibility.
introduced to
Exactly.
this
To be
kind
introduced.
of level,
Right. True.
right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
man.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. Yes.
listen, Sizzler was in good company with you, Cooley, and we sure appreciate connecting with you today and learning about your journey. I want everyone to tune in to the social media channels you see below for the reggae artist Cooley and look for him rising on Phoenix 360. And brother, it is my honor to connect with you.
It's an honor to connect with you as well. And you know what? I also can't leave out. Very, very important. Paul Castick actually produced Rockers as well. So Paul Castick with some other musicians that he knows, a lot to name. But yeah, he's the main one that put everything together. You know what I'm saying, as far as the composition. So I give
That's
thanks to Paul
beautiful.
Castick. I give thanks to Paul Castick. Paul Castick, wherever you are, big up yourself, man. I pray you see this and You see that.
Big up Paul, man. Absolutely. What he gets involved in, man, it really comes and takes life. You
Yeah, true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So I always appreciate it and really appreciate you too, Cooley. All
Mhm.
right. So we'll look forward to your rise. We'll look forward to you being on the Phoenix 360 app as it emerges, and you just keep it real like you keep doing, man. It's really a
Yes,
blessing to
yes,
connect with
yes.
you, brother.
Yes, my brother, it's a blessing to connect with you too. His foundation is in the holy mountains. Jah liveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of Jah. I make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia, for this man was born there. Selah. Yes, I give so much thanks, my brother. Had to call
Oh
us
man, give thanks, Cooley. Blessings, brother. Respect.
Selah. Yes, sir.
She's a rocker, she's a rocker, rocking to my melody. I'm a rockin', you're a rockin', to my reggae melody. He's a rocker, she's a rocker, rocking to my melody. I'm a rockin', you're a rockin', to my reggae melody. Dreadlocks fly.